You know what, people? Flavio Briatore has got a decision to make. He's got a big decision to make because in 2026, he cannot walk in to the Formula One season with Pierre Gasly and Colapinto and Jack Doohan. I mean, hello, is Jack Doohan still an Alpine driver? Or have we just brushed that so under the carpet that we're just not going to talk about it anymore? Because no one's saying anything. No one's saying a word. Colapinto was given 5 races, and from what I remember, was it the British Grand Prix where it ended? We've just had the Singapore Grand Prix, for goodness sake. We are walking into the US Grand Prix in Austin, in Texas, right? And that will be race 19? There's not many races after that. So what's happening here? And also, why is nobody talking about this? Why is nobody talking about the mess that is Alpine once again? And I say once again because I am talking about it constantly. I don't stop talking about it. But if you are Alpine, if you're Flavio Briatore, you've got a decision to make. Who are you taking into the Formula One calendar next season? Now, we know Pierre Gasly signed a brand new deal. So Gasly's locked in until 2028. And I made a video on that and I thought, that's crazy. Why would you do such a thing? But hey, to each his own. But then there's the Franco Colapinto of it all, as well as the Jack Doohan of it all. Now, Colapinto and Jack Doohan both have no points in the Formula One calendar this season after 18 races. There is no point scored by them. Pierre Gasly's got 20 points, which by his standards, of course, is horrible, is horrific. By Alpine standards, the Alpine that we thought we were going to get, deplorable. And, you know, when I look at around it, you know, Oliver Behrman's got points, Gabriel Bortoletto's got points, Yuki Tsunoda obviously would have had points, and so too is like Esteban Ocons and so on. They've all got points in that area, right? Everybody else has scored points except the Jack Doohans of it all and Colapinto. And you know how I said Pierre Gasly's got 20 points? Like, Behrman, I think, is 19th in the Drivers' Championship with 18 points. And Gasly's got 16, is in 16th place with 20 points. So it's not like, oh, Gasly's doing so well. He's really doing tremendously well. He's outperforming in that Alpine. He's doing this, that, and the other. No, it's nothing like that. It's nothing like that. We need to address what the hell is going on with Alpine. And with Flavio Briatore now being the executive advisor, whatever that means, because they don't have a team principal, they don't have a CEO, they don't have anything. It feels like it's Flavio and him and his mates are there running the show with these two drivers. So where they go from here is it's going to be very, very interesting. And it's why I made a video about Christian Horner and which which teams he should go ahead and look at becoming, you know, CEO, team principal, whatever the case may be. Alpine was one of those on that list because Alpine is a mess, but also there's a space for him. There's potential for him to really do something with that team, mold that team, make it serious again, and go from there. Because the Alpine project, on one hand, it's over and it's always been over, but on the other hand, it can get resurrected. Like there's restoration for Alpine. That's the funny of it. And I think that's the most annoying thing about it, is that there's teams out here like Alpine with all this potential and everything else just getting wasted. But what is the basis, like when Briatore has to come to that decision of who is the number 2 driver, let's say, or the second driver at Alpine, how does he choose between Colapinto and Jack Doohan? Other than the fact that Jack Doohan doesn't have now as much experience as Colapinto, because Colapinto's had so many chances, he had so many races. And there's moments where I've seen him do some shockers, some absolute stinkers, and yet he's still here. And Flavio, I know to be a very hard man, a very tough man when it comes to this sort of stuff. Seeing him here is like, you know, seeing him still keep on with Colapinto, giving Pierre Gasly a new deal, and no sign of Jack Doohan. We're not even talking about Jack Doohan. We're not even there's nothing about him that we're hearing. Now, granted, we might not be hearing about even the academy drivers or some of the people that they're bringing through, like under the Renault program and whatnot. But honestly, like, maybe it's like a Yuki Tsunoda type of deal, because like Tsunoda might be out of Red Bull next year if Isaac Hadjar goes to Red Bull next year. I can't see Yuki going back to Racing Bulls. I don't think Racing Bulls will take him. I think Racing Bulls will look at elsewhere in their academy, under the Red Bull academy. So then what, does Yuki go to Alpine? And if so, like, how are you going to juggle these pieces? This is a problem that Flavio Briatore has to solve, and it's a problem that I'm so glad I have no part of, because it's not easy. And maybe it's a case of, you know what, get the team principal in first before you make a decision on the drivers. That can make sense. I can totally understand that. I can see where that's going. Why not do something like that? But what a tough decision it is. And you know what, having Gasly in there, it just feels like, is it wasted opportunity? Do I believe in Gasly? Do I believe Gasly still got it in him? Has he still got that talent? It's something that I'm struggling to comprehend. It's something that I'm struggling to actually believe in. You know, I don't think Gasly's got it anymore. So it almost feels like they've already wasted one seat as it is. But yet here we are. A big trial on his hands. A big task for Flavio Briatore, because the Alpine is doing absolutely nothing. How they're just turning up to races every single race weekend is beyond me. Because they're there for vibes. They are there for chilling, for Netflix and chilling. They are there for Drive to Survive, and that is it. God knows what else is going on in that Alpine. If you like Alpine, make sure you smash a like on this video and subscribe to the channel if you like Formula 1 content like this. Okay, YouTube thinks you'll like this video over here, so make sure you go ahead and click on that. And until next time, lights out.